If you're excited to dive into the backyards of Grounded, I'm going to give you guys 10 tips on how to survive this really crazy backyard. Since the reveal of the full story and gameplay trailer of Grounded coming in September, there's been tons of changes to the game that I'm still myself getting used to. So here are some tips and tricks for you guys to try to survive in this backyard if it's your first time jumping into the game. First tip I want to start off with, you guys, is finding a good place for your base. I know once you start off, you're kind of getting the ropes of everything, trying to craft your first axe, pebble axe and all that stuff. But once you kind of get the first things rolling, the most important thing is to just try to find a good area for your base. As you guys can see, I highly recommend getting the high ground when it comes to the bugs, because besides the mosquitoes and bees, all the flying insects that could potentially attack you, you're safe from everything else, because the bugs, the ants, and the spiders cannot climb up the walls to attack you. So having a nice elevated base is definitely going to be a great thing for you. You can see I kind of started off my base here when I first started. It was just kind of get things rolling. You have plenty of grass around here too. You have acorns, where you get acorn bits. Burgle is just around the corner as well over here, and you also have the tree stumps over by the rose bushes over there. So, or there are definitely other places around the backyard where they have a nice elevated ground for you where you can also build your base. So that'd be my tip for number one, is to find a nice elevated place to start setting up your base. And if you're gonna have a base low to the ground, what I would recommend is to just have that bad boy heavily fortified. As you guys can see here, we're changing all the wooden stuff that we had into the mushroom bricks now, because the mushroom bricks is going to be your best way to defend your base. They're more sturdier, and they can take a lot more damage from bugs. Of course, we got turrets set up. We're going to really fortify the front of this, because like I said, there are going to be some bug raids coming to Grounded, and you're going to have a full force of wolf spiders, ants, mosquitoes, bees, all kinds of stuff. So if you're going to be low to the ground like this, or in ground level anywhere else as well, I would just start to really, really fortify your base, because those bugs are going to come in hard and they're going to destroy everything. So I thought this would be a nice little spot, because I don't think the koi fish can jump out of the water. But if they ever do make the koi fish jump out of water, I'm definitely going to be screwed right here. But we're definitely going to be fortifying here and in the inside as well, all around, just to be safe and prepare ourselves for bugs. So remember, get the high ground. Remember, Obi-Wan said it first. You has the high ground, and you can easily destroy most of these bugs. And if you're going to be down to the ground, make sure to really heavily fortify your base, because that's really going to save your life. Tip number two for everybody just starting off, because I'm sure all the veteran players already know this, is always carry items to craft a lean-to. Now, if you guys don't know what a lean-to is, it's pretty much where you can go to sleep and to set your respawn point in case you die. Now, trust me, this will come in handy multiple times when you're exploring new areas. You set up a lean-to before you go into the red ant hill, you go into the sandbox, or wherever new area you're trying to explore. It's good to have this, because once you die, as you guys can see right here, you'll get sent back into your spawn point, or if you have no spawn point, you'll get sent back to the very beginning of the game, and then you'll have to go find your backpack, seeing how far it is, and you'll only have the first weapon in your hand, and the rest of your items will be in your bag. So that's if you go from here, correct, and then you go all the way here to the sandbox, and you die, you're gonna have to spawn way back into your first spawn point, and you're gonna have to make your way over here again with no items, no food. Everything you have is going to be in your backpack over there. Tip number three is going to be very important for your survival, because besides the bugs out there trying to kill you, thirst and hunger are your second worst enemy. Now, these are some of the items that I recommend you guys to try to build as soon as possible. That's going to be the dew collector. Dew collector is going to be catching all the little droplets of water for you to have water at any time that you need. The second item that I recommend you guys to build ASAP is the canteen. Once you fully upgraded your canteen, you can fit up to 4 droplets of water on here. And trust me, this is going to come in clutch when you're out exploring and you need a drink of water. Now, food-wise, I highly recommend you guys to build these garden patches to grow mushrooms, because mushrooms honestly are the best food source that you'll have, because they grow everywhere. You can find little mushrooms growing everywhere throughout the backyard, and it's gonna come in clutch. You won't get sick from eating these, and like you can see, you can grow 4 at a time. And I'm definitely gonna be making more of these so you can keep harvesting and having a whole bunch of mushrooms to eat. Now, besides mushrooms, the other thing that you can do is build these jerky racks, because once you kill, let's say like this little poor amphib that we had to kill, you only have a certain amount of time before it goes bad. It goes, the meat's gonna go spoiled. So once you have one, go ahead and hang it up there, and it's going to become jerky, and that jerky is not gonna go bad at all. And you can have, like I have down here, my little container full of jerky meat from all the different bugs. You guys can see gnat, grub, gnat, and of course I have some other stuff in there. So that's having those resources there is going to be essential for you guys to survive and go explore, because that's going to keep you going. Because trust me, if you don't have none of this stuff, you're going to be struggling to survive, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to die from either thirst or hunger. Tip number 4 is going to be pretty much one that I'm still kind of learning right now and trying to set up, as you guys can see, is setting up certain bases of operation with certain particular items. So as you guys can see over here, we're in the hedge area, and this is pretty much where you get all the berries and berry leather. And berry leather is very important when it comes to your armor. So I've been building a base over here to start keeping all of my berry leather, so I don't have to be running back and forth. I can have all my berry leather here, get all the berries that I can, wait until they respawn, and then just keep stacking up a storage area full of berry leather. And this is what I'm going to be doing as well towards certain areas where there's a lot of quartzite, because you need the quartzite bits also for certain weapons. So it's always good to set up certain little base camps. Again, always have a lean-to, and always set your respawn point to it, just in case you do die. That way you're always here, especially in this area, because I've always fallen and I don't always have a dandelion, which is about to be, it's almost done. But yeah, so always build certain bases, little small bases in certain areas of interest, so you guys can have all your stuff saved up, because sometimes it's a hassle to just be running back and forth. Always have certain little areas where you can have a nice little storage area for all the items that you definitely are going to need. So tip number 5 is going to be some of the items that you definitely are going to need in order to survive in Grounded, because without these items, you won't be getting a lot of the resources you need for your survival. Now let's go ahead and look into some of these items, and that is the insect hammer level 2. Now this one is very important, because this is what you can use to get quartzite pieces, and the quartzite pieces are very important because you need them now, because they have a leveling system for your weapons now. So you go to the smithing station, and that's how you level up the damage and durability of a lot of your weapons. So insect hammer, quartzite, definitely going to be the most important things in Grounded to keep leveling up your weapons. Number 2 is going to be the insect axe, because this one is going to help you get your wood stems, your the feather parts, and also a lot of the hot dogs and apples and cookies out there for you to harvest. You can only do that with a level 2 insect axe. Now you can't do it with a level 1. It's gonna have to be with the level 2. So I never leave anywhere without the insect hammer or the insect axe, in case I need to harvest or forget any other materials. Also, one thing I started also carrying once I went to the black ant nest is the black ant shovel, because there's gum areas, and I also found that if you break large pieces of gum, there are mint molars underneath them. So I would upgrade to the black ant shovel as soon as possible. These are the items that I always have on me, as you guys can see, at all times. Black ant shovel, level 2 insect hammers in my hand, and the insect axe, because in case I gotta do any item grabbing, this is what I'm going to need all the time. Tip number 6 is more than just a tip. It's a warning. As you guys can see here, don't mess with the wolf spider unless you think you're absolutely ready, because the wolf spider is definitely a menace in this game. They will destroy you, and they have venom that will really melt your health so fast. and they're so strong that like 2-3 punches, if you don't have the right armor, like myself, I have the the ladybug armor. They will. Oh shit! You see, he just hit me. He just hit me. Look at the venom. Look at how much health I'm getting. Yeah, I'm telling you right now. It's a tip and a warning. Don't mess with the wolf spider unless you're ready to catch that smoke. Because these guys are dangerous. And look, he just walks off like nothing. And they will pop off when you least expect it. Trust me, there's been times where I was not expecting a wolf spider to come at me, and it did. So stay away from the wolf spiders unless you are ready for that smoke, because they really want to catch that smoke just as much as you do. So beware of the wolf spider. Tip number 7 is going to be very important, especially if you like to explore at night, is always have a torch. Because in this game, it gets very dark, especially in the caves, especially out and about at night. It just gets very dark. I even try to increase the gamma a little bit just to see a little bit better. But either way, the game does get very, very dark at night. And a lot more bugs are roaming around at night, just like it is in real life, which I thought that was really an awesome little detail. Because especially the wolf spider definitely is always roaming around at night, guys. So be careful. So always carry a torch. There are different items you can see if you find the next one ever char torch. Will burn a lot longer. You can also get this firefly headlamp too, which I mean it does burn through very quickly, but they do have a firefly headlamp if you like to carry a double-handed weapon like the mint mallet, because you're gonna have to all have a one-handed weapon when you're holding the torch. So yeah, always have a torch or something to light your way at night if you like to explore, or you can just wait until it's nighttime. You can go back to your lean-to or your base where you have your lean-to, and you can sleep for 8 hours until it becomes daytime for you to go out and explore. But definitely always carry a torch on you, especially if you're going to be exploring the ant nests or the ant hills and all that stuff, because it's going to be very important. Because trust me, you will not see absolutely nothing if you don't have a torch. Tip number 8 is going to be something that took me a while to really understand and get, because I usually go out with no health, and I always be 1% health, and I get jumped by a flea or a mite, and I get killed, and I get so mad because I just got off a really big battle, and I just get killed by the littlest thing, and I never had these in my bag until recently. I always try to make sure I'm always stocked, and that is going to be either the fiber bandage or the Helabassa bags. And either one will do. The Helabassa ones are a little bit easier. The fiber bandages, all you need is plant fiber and sap, and you can craft as many as you want to have it with you, which I would recommend to always have these on you, because trust me, you're definitely going to need it. I always never had them, and I always hated not having them. And then especially when you're with friends, the Helabassa is going to be coming clutch because it's the mosquito, blood sac, and some silk rope. But this, you throw it, and whatever it splashes, it'll heal that area. So if you're with buddies and you're fighting, maybe the brood mother or just out and about and you guys need some health, this is definitely going to come in clutch to heal you up. So always carry heals on you. I always forget. And just because you eat food, the food doesn't always give you health. So keep an eye on your health and always carry either one of these two with you at all times. So tip number 9 is going to be finding the armor that suits your gameplay. Now, as you can see, each set of armor has its own particular abilities that help you out. So with the Antlion Wide Brim, it helps you with sizzle protection. The Ladybug armor is going to be good blocking strength. The Bee mask or the Bee armor is going to be good for bow stuns. The Spider armor is going to be good for speed, help you regain stamina. The Koi Fish armor is going to be good for perfect blocks because of its scales. We got the Marksman's Cap that helps you with your energy when you're shooting the bow. Black Ant armor is going to be good for crits after blocking, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty much just finding. Oh, and the red ant armor is going to be good for hauling strength. So if you're just trying to build up your base and you need some hauling strength, the red ant armor is going to be perfect because you can stack up to 8 or 9 items on you while you're grabbing materials. So each one of these armors gives you different abilities. So it's just finding out the one that suits you and what you're going to be doing, whether you're going to be building your base, going to get materials, or going out to fight. It's always good to see which armor it's going to be when you go out and do your things to help you and protect you in your journey in Grounded. So tip number 10 is going to be a very simple tip for you guys, and that is invite your friends over to play Grounded, because Grounded is a lot more fun with the group. I've been playing this by myself for a little bit, you know, a lot of exploring. I did a lot of this building by myself, and I have a lot more fun, and it's a lot more enjoyable when I have my friends and followers in to play with. And I'm definitely gonna need them when it comes time to the bug raids, because I don't think I can handle a wolf spider, mosquitoes, and all these different bugs attacking my base all at once. So highly recommend you guys just bringing in friends into play, and have just a blast murking all these bugs. So I hope you guys found these tips helpful. I really wish I would have known some of these tips in the beginning. A lot of these tips that I also gave you guys was from other players that we were playing. I said, hey, why don't you do this like this? Why don't we do this instead? So a lot of these tips were made from my community and myself as we've been playing Grounded since day one. So I hope they were helpful. If you guys want to join up and play with me, I'm gonna be streaming Grounded on my Twitch channel. You guys are more than welcome to hop in with me. I always have chests and armor and weapons for everybody who hops in with me, and you get to have your own little chest. And hopefully, once we build this base up more, you're gonna have your own little room as well whenever you guys stop by and play Grounded with us. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I'm super excited for September when we get the full game and full story for Grounded. I can't wait to dive into Grounded even more. And like I said, keep an eye on the streams. We're gonna have more streams of Grounded, and I hope to see you guys either on the Twitch channel or here in the comments. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys later in the backyard.